Hello, hello. So, if you are an English learner and you would like to improve your pronunciation and maybe even have more of an American accent, this is the place for you. And we are going to have fun today. So, this is the first time that yes, first time that I'm actually going to be live streaming, not just on YouTube, but I'm going to also be live streaming on Facebook. And I am trying to go live here on Instagram. So, um, you know, thank you for your patience, because that's what I'm trying to do right now. All right. All right, all right. So I'm gonna try to go live here um, on Instagram, and if it doesn't work, um, I think I'm just gonna I'm just gonna say goodbye. So if you are here, I see somebody's here, feel free to say hello. Even if you're watching the replay, feel free to say hello and where you are watching from. So I'm still trying to figure this out. One moment, please. I'm just putting in my Instagram key to go live on on Instagram. Again, if this doesn't work, it's not working. That's okay. We're not going to go live on Instagram. We're just here on Facebook and YouTube. So before we start, hello, my name is Jessie. I am an American accent coach and I help English learners improve their accent and reduce their foreign accent. So improve the pronunciation and reduce their foreign accent so that they can have more of a general American accent. So before we start, a couple announcements. Actually, not a couple, there's a few announcements. First one, I am still looking for 1 to 2 Portuguese speakers. You can be from Brazil, you can be from Portugal, it doesn't matter. If you are interested in sending me some voice messages and getting some feedback on your pronunciation, and you're okay with me putting your voice on my YouTube videos because you get feedback with that as well, DM me, direct message me on Instagram with the words Project Portuguese. Okay. And my Instagram handle is American Accent Training with Jess. So if you want to participate, DM me Project Portuguese. And this is free. Okay. I am going to put your voice on my YouTube channel because I'm going to be giving feedback. I'm going to be sharing just some patterns I hear with Portuguese speakers when they're speaking English so that you can, if you speak Portuguese, you can improve your English. Next, I have another announcement. I am not currently accepting new students. I'm not accepting new clients, but in September, I will be available for one-on-ones. So for conversational practice, one-on-ones, accent training, one-on-ones, and other fun things. I'm also thinking about possibly starting weekly pronunciation groups. So if you are interested, let me know by going down into the description of this YouTube video, or it should be somewhere if you're watching on Facebook, and click on weekly pronunciation groups to express that you are interested, because I am only going to create weekly pronunciation groups if there's enough people that are interested. Also, next one. I'm also starting, maybe in August, but for sure September, TH pronunciation groups. Like, it's 3 group Zooms. So a lot of English learners will mispronounce the TH, right? Instead of saying there, they might say dare or there or there. Okay. So what this is that you'll have 3 group Zooms with me, and we're just going to be working on the TH pronunciation, the pronunciation of TH, the voiced and the voiceless. So, for example, instead of saying with, you might actually say with or with, or if you're a Quebecer, wit. So, if you're interested, comment TH group in the comments, whether you're watching the replay, or I think if you're also watching live, you can just look in the description of the video. So I think that's it for, yeah, that's it. That's it for my announcements. Well, let's get started. So, I'm gonna check the comments. Feel free to ask questions. If you are watching, I will see your comments eventually. I'm gonna start off with this. For those who know, yes, I'm an American accent coach, but I'm also an English learner myself. English is my first language, but my second language is French. My third is Spanish. My fourth is Ukrainian. But for my second language, I want to have almost a perfect accent. So I'm going to be sharing with you how I am going to be using ChatGPT to improve my to improve my pronunciation. And this will also help give you ideas of how you can use ChatGPT to improve your pronunciation. So I'm going to share my screen. And again, ask questions if you have questions in the comments, and I will answer them a little bit, later in the video. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share this window. All right. So very often when we are trying to improve our pronunciation, um, I think it's very important to focus on one or two sounds, one or two problems at a time. Because if you try to fix everything, it's going to be very difficult, overcomplicated, and you might not get results. So I'm going to share with you an example. Um, so I might actually share this with you guys after, but I want to improve my pronunciation of the two vowel sounds, because usually I hear a lot of English speakers that have problems with vowels. So, for example, instead of saying bus, they'll say boss, right? But I'm going to do an example for French, and then I will share with you an example in English. So, I want to improve my pronunciation of the two vowel sounds that are in these words. You know what? I might actually share this ChatGPT transcript in my Patreon, but the free Patreon, part, just because I don't wanna bombard my, description area. All right, vous and vu. Can you, um, transcribe this? Okay, so it could be a good example to ask for transcription in IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, if that is something that you know. Um, these in IPA. And it will probably share with me just those 2 words, but this does know me, so it might show other words. Oh, no, it's perfect. And then it will say the key differences of how to pronounce it. Again, if you are, doing other sounds in English, it will probably tell you the key differences and tips. If not, you can ask it. So I'm gonna say, "Can you give me more words, minimal pairs?" Okay, this is going to be very important for you guys, and I'll share with you an example of an English one after. Can you give me more minimal pairs with these sounds? Okay, please include. And if you are watching this live, tell me which sounds do you find more difficult or like just difficult, and I might actually do an example for you. So can you give me more minimal pairs with these sounds? Please include, oh my goodness, there's something, I can never pronounce it in French. That one. Okay. Please continue to give me the IPA transcription. And please give me it in a Quebec accent. And again, when you are asking ChatGPT, you will want to verify just in case. I would like to have, the transcription in IPA for the American accent, right? And I'm sorry if I'm typing things wrong because I'm trying to talk and type at the same time. All right. So then I have the IP here, IPA, right? So I'm not I didn't want to do these examples for you. But what I'm going to do and what I recommend that you do is that you ask someone who is a native speaker or has an American accent to read the words that you want to improve. My husband doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to ask him to read these words for me. So he'll be like, vous, vu, vous, vu. And then he'll read both of them. Then I'll be able to listen to that audio and repeat after him because that's really going to help me to train my muscles in pronouncing the sounds that I really want to be able to master. So now I'm gonna stop sharing, and I wanna see which sounds you guys struggle with. So if you've commented that, I will, share with you an example. And also you can ask to practice these in context, in sentence context, and, yeah, you can get a native speaker to say it for you, and, that's definitely something that's helpful. So I'm gonna check really quickly if there's any comments. It looks like there's not, and that's okay. But I'm gonna share with you an example of what this looks like for an English learner. Um, Again, I will give this chat transcript to my patrons, whether it's free patrons or paid patrons. So I forget what questions I asked. Um, I would like to, what would I say? Could you transcribe? Let's say I'm a Spanish speaker and I have trouble with bus and boss. So can you transcribe boss and bus for me? Okay. In American English. Okay. Just so that it knows that we are wanting to improve our American accent. All right. Bus and boss. It tells you just tips on how to pronounce it and other words that have it. I would like to practice and master these sounds. Okay. One of the best ways to master sounds is to practice it, but then also compare and contrast it with sounds that are similar and like, for example, bus, boss, right? Pet, pat, pit, heat, right? Whatever you're working on. Can you give me a list of minimal pairs? Remember, that's the word that's really important. This means that with the two words that you're seeing, I'll actually show you right now. Minimal pairs, please. I'll share with you right now. Oh, yeah, okay, I did do AP. Um, this is not giving me what I wanted to. Okay. Um, mm, mm, let's do actually let's practice minimal pairs. Minimal pairs with like in try to think if you guys have any examples, let me know. I'm gonna check it out here. Do you guys have any examples? Oh, I love that you guys are mm, okay. I will answer the other questions a little later. Actually, let's practice minimal pairs like it and eat. Okay. I don't know why it's not doing what I want it to do. Okay. This time we're going to actually copy and paste the IP symbol because for some reason it's not giving me what I want. Um, Oh, good. If it would have never given me what it did here. I really like this one on the right. Da, da, da. I could ask it. Okay, so I'm going to ask it just so you guys can see. Could you give me um, a list with a list of minimal pairs? Sorry, a list of minimal pairs with these sounds. I know it just did give this to me, but I just want you guys to see what it looks like to ask ChatGPT. So I'm going to say it so that if you guys want to practice your English, you can listen to this over. So eh, it's short and it's lax. Then we have e. It's actually kind of like let's see if I can color on the screen. Yes, I can. It's actually like some people might like it sketch school. It's not really letting me, but it's like an IH kind of and then there's E, like it's like the letter E. So bit. When I put my hand out, you can repeat after me. So bit, it, beat, eat, sit, it, sit, seat, seat, ship, sheep, ship. Oh, sorry, ship, sheep, lick, lick, leak, leak, live, live, leave, leave, fill, fill, feel, feel, bin, bin, bean, bean, grin, grin, green, green, rid, rid, read, read, hill, hill, heel, heel, still, still, steal, steal, bid, bid, bead, bead. I'm gonna stop there. Um, and I really want this this to work out so I can write on the screen. It looks like my yes, working. All right. So I'm gonna do this again, but I'm going to go left, right, left, right. So beat, bit, beat, sit, seat, sit, seat, ship, sheep, ship, sheep. And if you don't hear the difference, that's step number 1. Step number 2 is to be able to learn how to pronounce it. So if you cannot hear the difference, it will take time, but you can do it. Lick, leak, lick, leak, live. Oh, sorry. In this context, it's live, but it can be live. For example, I am going live on Instagram. Well, not Instagram, on YouTube and Facebook, because my Instagram's not working for the live. But in this context, it's live, like the verb. So live, leave, live, leave. Repeat after me. Fill, feel, fill, feel. Bin, bean, bin, bean. And something I'll mention here with the bean, when you are asking somebody, how have they it's B-E-E-N, bean, but Americans will pronounce it like bin, okay? So you'll hear, "How have you been?" We do pronounce it like that, but technically it's not really how it's supposed to be. But just know that the bean and "How have you been?" turns into bin very often in, American English. So grin, green, grin, green, rid, read, rid, read, hill, heel, hill, heel, still, steal, still, steal, bid, bead, bid, bead, kit, keet, kit, keet, wit, wheat, wit, wheat, tin, teen, tin, teen. Okay. Whew, that was a workout. I'm hoping that was helpful so you guys can listen to that again. Something I'll mention too with the short I, like in the first column, so like tin, eh, eh, it'll feel like if you realize what's going on with your mouth, it feels like your thumb is pushing in the middle. Eh, eh. Where E It's like you're smiling in the inside. E, like everything's going like you're smiling. So that might be a helpful tip. Sorry, helpful hip. That should be a helpful tip. So, hi Jess, I would like you to explain about should, could, would have gone. Ah, pronunciation reduction. And this sentence, what have you got there? The real pronunciation in real life English. I like that. I'm going to use ChatGPT for this. Okay. Just because I want you guys to see how to use ChatGPT, and I really want to get my thing to draw to work. Um, okay. It looks like it's not going to work, but I'm still going to show you what it looks like. Um, mm, mm. 1 second. I'm actually going to try to get this to work because normally I haven't done it a lot, but I normally can write on the screen, and I think that is very helpful when it comes to explaining things. So I'm going to try to get this like it should be. So thank you for your patience, guys. I'm trying to figure out why this is not drawing like I want it to. Okay. I am, for you guys wondering what I'm doing, I'm just trying to restart one of my browsers to be able to draw on what I want to draw on. Yes, I got it. Good. All right. This will actually be a different question that um, I'm starting a new chat is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to present my screen. Let's go. Window. Let's do this one here. Okay. So I love your question. I have it up here. Yeah. Oswaldo. So should, would, could. Okay. I actually have this in one of my I think my pronunciation cheat sheet. But can you write I should have gone, I would have gone, I could have gone. Um, and the reductions, possible reductions versus careful speech. Boo, boo, boo. There we go. So I'm hoping it gives me IPA. It normally knows that that's what I want. Love it. Okay, so let's get nice and close here. Boom. Yes, I have my writer. I think to write. So in careful speech, I should. Okay, we never pronounce the L. I should have gone. Okay, I should have gone. Okay, what happens is I should have. Okay, it kind of sounds like. Let's see if I can get nice and close. It kind of sounds like should of. I think you'll see sometimes, even English speakers, sometimes they might accidentally write should have, right, instead of the VE. I should have gone. It also can turn into I shoulda, right? I shoulda. So I should have, the V, or shoulda, no V. So I should have gone. I could have. Oh, sorry. I shoulda. Sorry. I shoulda. I should have. I should have gone. I should have gone. Okay. Next, similar thing. L. We do not pronounce the L. It is I would, which is actually pronounced just like the word would, like that. I would have gone. Very carefully said. That's probably how you pronounce it in your English course. I would have gone. Very careful, very slow. But like should have, it kind of sounds like of. I would have gone, right? For those who wanna see IPA, it should be a V. Um, and I woulda gone. Very often, we'll say woulda. Um, 'Kay. Same thing here, could. No L. I could have gone. Okay, turns into I could have gone. I could have gone, like that. Or I coulda gone. I coulda. You might see, I feel like this might be written like this by some people. Just if you see that, that might actually be what it is. Um, Next. Doo, doo, doo. Let me see if I can. There we go. Next question. I want to see what your next question is. Yeah. So, oh, sorry, I'm trying to read it. Um, what have you got there? Nice. I like that you have examples there. I just noticed my camera wasn't working when I was looking at it. Now, so I'm going to ask this thing, ChatGPT. Now, can you do what have you got there? All right, so we're going to go from careful speech, full form to reduced. I totally have. I I have done this already in my cheat sheet. So check out my cheat sheet. If you're on my email list, at the bottom there should be fluency cheat sheet. It's a free gift that I have for my email subscribers. I've done this and it's really it's a good tool to have. So let's do it. I'm gonna get my sketching tool. Do 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 do. All right. So what, which you may or may not hear the T pop, but I will make it pop. What have you got there? Okay. What do you can turn into whatcha, which is pretty casual, or what do you. So why this happens? What do right? What do you? What kind of disappears? What do you? What do you? Right? That's how it turns into that, and then you, yeah, turns into yeah. What do you? What do you got there? So you can say what you got there. I feel like what you got there is more playful, um, can be a little more casual. To me, it feels more casual. What do you? It just feels like a normal reduction. So what do you got there? Like, for example, I think if I was in, like if I was a police officer or something, um, I feel like I probably wouldn't say whatcha, but I could. It's pretty casual. I'd probably say, what do you got there? It just feels more, I don't know, it just feels better for me. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna get rid of this again. So what do you or what have you turns into what you or what do you? Um, so that gives another explanation. Um, got stays there. Da, 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 da. Good. I don't know if I think that pretty much answers your question. But let me know if you have another question. I'm going to check out the other questions as well. So I'm fascinated by the British accent. I've been learning it for 4 months. That's so cool. But I can't. I think they are in they are from another universe. Yeah, it's not easy. I don't know where you are living, like if you're living in somewhere where they have the British accent, but it makes it easier when you are surrounded by that accent. If not, you can definitely listen to shows and stuff by people who have that British accent. But good for you. That's awesome. Why is the visa complicated to apply for? I have no idea. I have no idea. I feel like, when a lot of things at the government level is kinda complicated. I'm sorry, I don't have a good answer for that. So you applied for it last year and was rejected. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I wish I could help you, but I don't. I can't. I don't know. Um, hello, happy Monday. Have a good Monday. I'm happy it is another day. And then I see, greetings from Costa Rica. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Greetings from Canada. All right. Thank you so much for your help. You're very welcome. Now, I don't see any questions right now, so I'm going to start my little lesson on words that change depending on what part of Canada you're in. I'm just going to make something really quickly. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, let's do this. So, um, I'm hoping you guys can see it. If you put a full screen, you should be able to see it. So, something I was always confused about, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm from this place. The place that looks like a rectangle is called Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. So, we call the meal that we have at night in the evening, we call it supper, but there are some places that call it dinner. All right, let me read this because the word dinner always confused me because I had a lot of friends from Ontario, a lot of friends from BC, and I was always confused when people asked me or wanted to make dinner plans. I'm like, what is dinner? Like, what time? It's because in Canada, depending on which place you're at, it's different. So, the name for the evening meal provides some of the most fascinating regional varieties in the English language and in Canada too. If you live in BC or Southern Ontario, you will most likely call it dinner, while the rest of Canada strongly prefers supper. In the prairies, dinner may in fact refer to the midday meal. Okay, so that's why I was just so confused. So, whenever people ask you, want to make dinner plans, if you're unsure if it's lunch or supper, you can say, "Do you mean for lunch or for supper?" Because it's confusing, and I know it is. It is for me because I'm in a place where it's not I don't think it's standard. So, next one, we are going to look at another thing that's very interesting. I'm from Saskatchewan, remember? The little triangle? When you have a sweater with a hood, right? You put the hood on. Um, usually it's called a hoodie. Hoodie. Okay, I'll let you repeat after me. Hoodie. Um, some places they might call it a kangaroo. If you think about a kangaroo has a pouch, 'cause you have the pouch in the hood. In Saskatchewan, we call it a bunny hug. Like a bunny, like the rabbit, bunny hug. So, not all Canadians know this, but we call it in Saskatchewan a bunny hug. I grew up calling it a bunny hug. Next, I'm going to make this bigger here. So, I think in the United States, okay, I think they call it a soda or a soda pop. Soda, I don't know. I cannot say for sure. But if you are in the United States or Canada, tell me in the comments, what do you call this where you're living? So we call it pop. So like Coca-Cola, root beer, Sprite, call it a pop. As you can see here. I think it's do they? Oh, yeah, okay. In Quebec, 63% of Anglophones, English speakers, because Quebec is a French-speaking province, they prefer soda drink, while over a quarter use soda or soft drink, sorry, soft drink. And yeah, it's just depending on where you're from, depending on where you're living, you'll hear different words. Next, electric bill. I'm from Saskatchewan, remember right here, the red one. We call it an electric bill. And hydro bill, just gonna double check. It looks like that is I know it's Quebec. but is it also I think it's also in Ontario. So, when you hear these words, that's what that means. And many Newfoundlanders, sorry, many Newfoundlanders refer to their bill as the light or the light and power bill. I've heard power bill too, but for me, electric bill, power bill, those are the 2 words that I grew up hearing. I grew up in Canada, again, just a quick reminder. And next one, um, I'm gonna check my, comments very quickly. Hello from Brazil. Hello. And you speak Spanish. Awesome. Thanks for your help. You're welcome. Yeah, I speak a little bit of Spanish. I never heard of bunny hug. It's kind of cute and funny. I think it's really cute too. Soda would be understood for all English speakers. I think so. I think I used to work in a restaurant, and I think if someone said, "Hi, can I have a soda?" I would take him back. It would take me a while to be like, "Oh, she wants this, a pop." But, usually they should. But if you ever are not understood, you can say, like Coca-Cola, Sprite, like, you can always give examples just in case somebody is, confused. But yeah, soda, I feel like people should understand that. Next, when we're talking about mac and cheese, macaroni and cheese, usually any macaroni and cheese, we'll call it Kraft Dinner. Even though technically Kraft Dinner is like a brand name for a specific macaroni and cheese, But, we'll call it Katie or Kraft Dinner, generally speaking. And down there, they call it mac and cheese. I call it Kraft Dinner, even though it's, not Kraft Dinner. Next, when we're talking about forks, spoons, knives, you might hear the word cutlery. You might hear the word utensils. You might also hear the word silverware. Again, I'm from Saskatchewan. I feel like cutlery and silverware are the 2 words that feel most common to me. They feel, yeah, I would say those are the words that I would use personally, but I understand it all. Good. Next, you're going to school. You might call it marks to get good grades, good marks. Most Canadians don't tend to have a strong preference between the terms grades and marks. And I was thinking that too, because I will say get good grades or I got a good mark. I'll use both. But respondents in BC and Quebec lean strongly toward grades, while Newfoundlanders, oh, they're so cute, particularly in the Avalon Peninsula. I didn't even know that was a thing. Prefer marks. All right, so grades, marks, same thing. Next. Oh, we just did that. Now, the term known to have the most regional variation in Canada is about what you call a summer house that you visit on the weekends. So some people will have a regular house and then a summer house, usually by the beach or something. So cabin and cottage. So cabin and cottage, I would say those are the 2 ones that I personally am used to. And again, I'm from this province here. Cabin and cottage dominate much of the country, but camp feels weird, but I guess that's what people use. But camp is most common in Northern Ontario, chalet in Quebec, and bungalow in only one small place in Canada, Cape Breton. Oh, that's cute. Because when I think of bungalow for me, I'm from Saskatchewan, I think of the kind of house. It's a kind of house, like not a cabin. And where I'm from, Saskatchewan, when I hear chalet, what I personally think of is when you're going downhill skiing, snowboarding, there's little like cabins, little chalets that you could have like hot chocolate or something, like on the snowy hills in the mountains. So for me, cabin and cottage are more natural. Camp makes me think of like a summer camp where you send your kids or where you go as a kid. Again, but these technically mean the same thing depending on where you are in Canada. Again, but they could be understood as something different depending on where you are. Oh, I see I have a comment. Yes, marks and grades are the same thing. There are some places in Canada that people I'm gonna put where is it? There's some places in Canada where people prefer one or the other, but we use them interchangeably. That's a really good question. Let me get rid of that comment. There we go. Camp sounds more like a place to go and not a house. I know, that's what I think too. But I guess in some places it's like it's a it's a cottage. It's kind of crazy. All right, let me try not to. Next, when it is really cold out and it's wintertime, we wear a toque. So it's like some people will call it a beanie. I think that's what they say in the United States, maybe in England. I don't know, but we call it a toque. So it covers our ears, our head, toque. But some Newfoundlanders prefer to call them the term stocking cap. Ah, that's a new one, stocking cap. Okay, I didn't know that. And I guess here they call it a hat. I did not know that. It's a wintertime headwear. So toque, toque, if you want to repeat after me. Next, construction. Almost all Canadians agree that the orange cones used to divert traffic on roads or Pee-wee hockey players on the ice are called pylons. So they're like orange cones that are usually around construction sites. And but respondents in Vancouver and Victoria and Quebec call them traffic cones. I guess that makes sense. Hmm. Or when you play sports and you have like the pylons to like mark where things are. Next. This is the last one. So, if you guys have any questions, ask them and I'll answer them at the very end after this one. Next. Um, when you put on shoes to play sports, to go hiking, to go play outside, we call them, when I say we, I mean people from Saskatchewan, call them runners. It looks like in Ontario and Quebec, they call them running shoes. Makes sense. And oh, okay. In the East, it's called sneakers. I knew that, which is also common in the United States. So I've heard this. I understand sneakers. And it's not Snickers. Remember? Earlier in this live, we had the I and the E. It's E. Sneakers. Sneakers. Not Snickers. Snickers you eat. The Snickers chocolate bar. So Snickers, sneakers. Sneakers are what we put on our feet, but I call them runners. So I put on runners. Now I'm going to go back to the main screen, and I'm going to see if you guys have any questions. Yes, cultural things are really nice to learn because sometimes we get confused about those terms. Yep. And sometimes even native speakers do. Like I mentioned, we call a hoodie a bunny hug. When I talk to my friends in Ontario, sometimes they're like, "What?" They did not understand either. So, I'm looking it looks like we don't have any questions. I like where it shows where everyone's commenting from. Most people are watching on YouTube, some on Facebook. So it looks like we're all done. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, there will be a video popping up right here. So feel free to click on it to continue improving your English. Anyways, take care, guys, and thanks for coming. It was nice to see all you guys.